this video gives you some form of relaxation, please do give it a thumbs up as well. So in last week's video I was talking about just my experiences of living in Europe versus in Africa, and I ended that video quite abruptly because I had to do something I had forgotten and I needed to do it the moment the reminder went off, so that's why it ended the way it did. I said though that I would continue to just give my experiences in this video, so that's just a recap in case anyone is wondering. Well, in that video, so I highlighted only the pros, and I said that I would be just continuing to highlight more pros in this video, and then the cons, I'll speak about them in I guess the video that follows this one. So yeah, the question was, how is life different, I guess, if I'm not wrong, in Europe compared to Africa? Basically my experiences. That's how I was highlighting the positives and negatives of both. And in the previous video I just gave the positives of living in Europe, and now I'm gonna give the positives of living in Africa, just the things that I find to be good, that I really like. I talked about basically how fresh the food is, and everything is just organic, from stuff like milk to fruits and vegetables. They are all not processed. Like, processed food is so expensive over there, canned food is expensive over there, but here it's really cheap. A can of, let's say, tomatoes is really expensive over here, like, relatively expensive compared to Africa. In Africa, kind of, let's say, beans or tomatoes, it's really expensive, and even here it's expensive depending on, how much you make monthly, but it's quite affordable, I guess, for people living here. But in Africa it's like a luxury, in general processed food is expensive over there, like, I was telling my family that one avocado here is so expensive, but there it's like the cheapest thing. They fall freely from trees and people just pick them up, and some trees give you avocados all year long, so there are people who make that a business. Buying an avocado in my hometown, it's unheard of, unless you want to taste like a different brand, like a different avocados and mangoes and many fruits there. They all are different in a way that some are green, some are black, some are like dark green, society, and because of the corruption, and because of just the way the system is set up, you will not get like things the right way. And when I say that, I'm speaking about, for example, you wouldn't get a ticket like when you're caught driving on the wrong side of the road, because you just give money to the officer and that's it, you go. It's not acceptable here, but then there you avoid having a record. You understand? Here you can easily get a record for that, I guess. And I know I don't condone it. I know it's a vice, yes, but you know, as I said, the system is set up that way. It's not something that can be stopped in a year or two. It's something that it's very systemic, you know. It's deep rooted in the society for years, decades. So the only benefit you can get from it really is the fact that you just, you have to take advantage of it, use it, because in most times it's just your only opportunity, it's your only choice. Anyway, yeah, so sometimes I'm happy about that. Another thing I like about living over there, I have a whole lot, but when you ask something and then you just completely forget it. Yeah, Kenyan people are very friendly. Kenyan people in most cases are really helpful. Like 98% of the time, really. You will not find an unfriendly person over there. And I say that compared to here because here your neighbor will not speak a word to you. They'll not even say, in most cases, hello to you, Your house could be on fire and you don't know if someone will call you to warn you. So guys, I'm so sorry about the sudden stop. Our camera, the battery went off, so we had to charge it. We keep saying that we'll get a new battery for the camera that we used to shoot, but we keep forgetting. It's just one of those things that you actually have to just, every time you remember, you have to drop everything and just do it at that moment, because I keep saying I'll look for a battery and I forget, and then when I need it or when we are shooting, I'm like, oh shit, I should have gotten a battery. But I'll make an effort to remember that you buy a new battery for the camera, because we have to keep stopping several times to recharge. But on the other side of that, the stopping frequently is also good because we rest. We take a toilet break. I don't know if any one of you new guys know that we pre-shoot a lot of videos because we are very busy people on regular days, so we can't be shooting every day or several times a week. So we shoot our videos, like let's say today, for like the whole week, and then so we pre-shoot our videos like we're doing today, and then the whole week we just concentrate on other things, other work. I got a tiny back-weighted there. I know you all are tired of hearing me saying that I cannot believe how he bruises so easily. Crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Some of these red marks are from like an hour ago when we took the break, and I still see he's somewhat red. Before the camera went off, I was talking about some of my pros of living is these seasons like winter, spring, autumn, and summer. But here it is only summer and winter because it's cold, like half the year, and hot. Let's say from May, June, July, August, and that's it. In September, it's already beginning to be. Sorry, I just realized I was out of frame. Yeah, so in September, it's already beginning to be cold. So it's like you can't go out without like a sweater or two because you're already freezing. You can't wear, shorts. And this is like mid-September, Then October, it's really cold. November, of course, is winter. So, and right now, it's supposed to be like, spring, but it's still very cold. I was in the capital the other day, was it 3 days ago? On Friday, yeah. And at some point I would be warm, and then some points I would be extremely cold. And I'm sitting waiting for the bus, So, and then my legs would feel cold, and then my body's warm, but my legs are cold, and I would be like, okay, it's still very cold. Because I have sneakers on, And my jeans are low cut, so like my ankles are out, but they were cold. So yeah, I kinda enjoy the fact that in Africa the season is really pretty much the same. It's warm, and if it's cold, it's not really cold. You just need the sweater like for the morning hours, and that's that. I don't know, I missed this. Yeah, so I like that it's pretty much sunny there, and you can go to the coast where it's hot, like from January to December. The coast of Kenya, that's Mombasa. It's hot, like hot, humid. Even though I don't really enjoy how humid it can be sometimes, that even the air you breathe in through your nostrils is warm, so you feel a little bit like claustrophobic. I guess maybe for someone who's not used to that like me, it can feel like that, but I guess is planning to travel to Kenya and you're gonna stay in the capital, just know food, like other cuisines that are not Kenyan, are quite expensive. It's crazy, you know. And I'm not talking about like exported stuff, you know, because they will use, you know, exported stuff. That's why it's expensive. No, they just make it very expensive that it's not for the regular citizen. We have a saying there that it's not for the regular mwananchi. It's like a person of the country. Yeah, so that's really crazy, you know. Yeah, so life there, some people actually, you know, live better than actually some people that are out here, you know, in Europe. So that's something that I've never really quite understood. There's some companies that pay their workers in dollars, you know. And one thing also that struck me about, you know, living in Africa versus living here is that there's quite a lot of rich people really in Africa that they can afford to take their kids to international schools that like teach British curriculum, and they are paid in their businesses, or they are paid in their jobs or companies. They pay them like, let's say, enough money for them to be able to afford school fees. That's like more than $7,000 a semester for their kids, and the rest is of course